Welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with the lovely, colorful Denise. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I am wonderfully excellent. It is a great, great day in the neighborhood. All right, so Denise, let's get into this thing, girl.
Okay.
Who are you going to, what movie, excuse me, who are you? What movie are you going to recommend this week for our wonderful audience?
All right. This week I am recommending the movie The Marksman, starring Liam Neeson, who I had to quit him for about a year or so because I was mad at him. And so I had him sequestered. So
He's off the bench.
He's off suspension. And so I watched this movie. Actually, this movie was DVD, so a Walmart purchase. And basically, the movie is about a rancher on the Arizona border who is an alcoholic. He's wallowing in self-pity. His wife died from cancer. So he's, a leave me alone kind of guy. I just want to be left alone and just drink myself to death. All right. So one day he is, driving along the border and he comes across this mother and her son who are running away from the Mexican drug cartel. And so as the woman and her son are trying to escape, Liam Neeson is like, wait, I can take you to border control, it'll be okay, blah, blah, blah. And she's, no, they're right there on our tail. So of course there's a small little shootout. Of course, one of the drug guys is killed. Mama is killed. Her dying wish is, here, please take my son to Chicago and here's the address of family. And then she dies. So he reluctantly takes the child to, the border police and is like, look, I don't want anything to do with this here. Just, they'll take care of you. But he realizes that the drug cartel is waiting in the parking lot for this little boy so that, they can kidnap him. So he kidnaps the child from the police station in the way that only Liam Neeson can. And they begin this journey to Chicago. Meanwhile, the cartel is still hot on his tail because everywhere Liam Neeson goes, he uses his credit card. So they're sophisticated enough to be able to track his every move. So that's how this journey proceeds. So, he is the reluctant, curmudgeon who really doesn't want to do this. And the kid is like, well, I don't really want to go with you either. But of course, along the journey, they bond and form a relationship because at the end of the day, we're all the other has, and we're both trying to reach the same goal. So if you are a Liam Neeson fan, as I am, and that he is typecast and what you're getting when you watch one of his movies. You just don't know how he is going to use whatever the expertise is that he possesses in that particular movie. So it is a very watchable movie. And again, we purchased on DVD The Marksman, and that is my recommendation.
So my recommendation this week is The Wrath of Man, starring Jason Statham. So Jason Statham plays Patrick Hill. He's a new hired armored truck security guard. He's a guy with very few words, and so he gets off really on the wrong foot with his associates because all of them are big mouths and they like to talk a lot, and he doesn't like to do that. All right. So on one of the runs that he was on, the armored car was attacked and hijacked, and he got out of the armored car and disposed of the hijackers with expert marksmanship. So when he got back to the depot, his bosses was really kind of confused because he literally barely passed the training that they give, the so-called training that they give to the security guards for armored trucks. And so they kind of started figuring that this guy is way more than what meets the eye. So on another armored car run that he was on, it got hijacked. And when he got out of the vehicle, the hijackers appeared to recognize who he was. And they immediately got the heck out of there. They're like, forget this money, we out. And so come to find out that Patrick Hill is really Hargraves. He's a crime syndicate boss. And 5 months earlier, on an outing with his son, his crew called him and said, hey, boss, can you help us with a recon of an armory truck depot? It happened to be the same armory truck depot that he's working for right now. He reluctantly did it. So he parked a couple of blocks away from the armory depot, and he left his son in the vehicle, and he went up and did a recon. As he was coming back to his vehicle, he saw that one of the armored trucks that had just came out of the depot, right, was being hijacked, and was being hijacked right where he had parked his vehicle at with his son in. So as he was running back, he saw the hijacker kill his son, and he also got shot by one of the hijackers, but he survived. So Hargraves' associates suggested that this was probably an inside job. And so this is why he was there undercover, to try to find who the inside person was so that he could exact Jason Statham extreme prejudice, violence on the individuals who killed his son. So my recommendation for this week is Jason Statham in A Wrath of Man.
Thank you.
So Denise, who is your nailed it for this week?
All right, my nailed it is I'm going back to Hollywood glamour with this one. Paul Newman in the movie Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. The epitome of a man holding a grudge against his wife for something he thinks she did with his best friend decades ago. He is self-absorbed and he's an alcoholic to boot. And so the movie, he's just mean-spirited to Elizabeth Taylor and just hateful and evil, and just for 2 hours, this man is ranting about something that he thinks happened. And he does a pretty good job of it, because as dreamy as Paul Newman was with those blue eyes, I was like, enough is enough. She said she didn't do it. So that's my nailed it. The dreamy Paul Newman.
So my nailed it is Halle Berry as Sophia in John Wick 3 Parabellum. Now I say that she is the introduction of the female version of John Wick. She fight just as deadly as he did, and she shot people just as deadly as he did in this movie. She was a total scene stealer. And if you get a chance, go out to YouTube and watch her training for this movie. It was very, very impressive. So my nailed it is Halle Berry as Sophia in John Wick 3 Parabellum.
All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Charles and Denise, and there we will be.
Audience, thank you for joining us for another episode of Have You Seen It? With my homie and colorful Denise and yours truly, Charles. And we're out.
Bye-bye.